To install the RGB Handguard accent light kit on your Polaris snowmobile, follow these steps. Park the snowmobile on a flat level surface and set the parking brake. Push the engine stop switch to the off position, turn the key to the off position, and remove the key. Next, to remove the side panels, turn the 3 side panel latches toward the rear of the snowmobile to release and then remove. To remove the hood, turn the hood fasteners counterclockwise to release it. Then pull the sides of the hood out away from the side panel fasteners. Disconnect the wiring when removing the hood. Next, lift the hood up and away from the vehicle. After this, remove the seat by turning the latch clockwise to unlock the seat. Then, lift up on the rear of the seat and move back to remove. To remove the console, remove and retain 2 pushpin rivets. Then remove and retain 2 screws. Next, remove and retain 2 screws and 1 pushpin rivet. Then remove and retain the secondary clutch tool. Next, remove the fuel cap and the fuel tank retainer nut. Use a large adjustable pliers to remove the fuel tank retainer nut. Next, lift the switch panel from the cowl and lift it away from the snowmobile. And set it to the right side of the snowmobile. Leave the starter pull handle attached. Then, reinstall the fuel cap. If handguards are already installed, remove from the brackets and retain the 2 screws. Repeat on the other side. Next, remove the handguard trim. Then put the handguard accent light on the handguard mount. Route the wiring through the slot in the handguard. Route it through the opening in the handguard mount. Some defend handguard mounts may not have been cut out. If the handguard mount does not have a cutout, installation of the handguard accent lights will require the install to cut a slot in the mount. Then attach the handguard accent light using 2 retained screws. Tighten until fully seated. Now install the handguard onto the handlebars and put the handguards next to the handlebar riser. Torque to specification and repeat on the other side. Then route the handguard accent light wiring along the steering post and connect to the harness. Next, route the harness down toward the left side of the snowmobile. Then, route the harness to the top of the footwell. Next, remove the existing nut from the top of the footwell and attach the controller using the existing nut. Tighten until fully seated. Then remove the plug from the chassis connector and connect the harness. Next, attach the wiring using cable ties. Then attach the harness to the chassis tube using a cable tie. Next, attach the wiring to the steering post using cable ties. To reinstall the console, first remove the fuel cap. Then, place the cowl on the snowmobile, install the switch panel using clips, and connect the switch wiring. Next, connect the ignition switch wiring and also connect any other switch wiring if equipped. Then install the fuel tank retainer nut and the fuel cap. Use a large adjustable pliers to install the fuel tank retainer nut. Next, install 2 screws and torque to specification. Then install 2 screws and 1 pushpin rivet. Torque to specification. Next, install the secondary clutch tool. Then install 2 push-pin rivets. After this, reinstall the seat by hooking the front of the seat into position. Then put the rear of the seat into the latch. Turn the latch clockwise to lock the seat. To reinstall the hood, make sure the tabs fit inside the front pan. Make sure to connect the hood wiring when reinstalling the hood. Then, turn the hood fasteners clockwise to lock the hood. To reinstall the side panel, put the panel on the snowmobile and turn the fasteners toward the front of the snowmobile to lock into place. Repeat on the other side. To operate your RGB Handguard grill accent lights, download the SnowGlow app. In your phone's device settings, pair the controller to the app on the phone. When the controller is paired, it will appear at the top of the phone's device list. Next, the SnowGlow app will guide you through the app's features and how to control the lights. For more information, see your authorized Polaris dealer or visit Polaris.com.